Joel, I have an interest in, as I follow the Mill Hall situation, authority. It seems like the county can create authorities, but then I see that the county commissioners have no authority over those authorities other than to appoint or replace authority members. And I guess I'm wondering, in the two authorities that I'm most familiar with are the Recreation Authority and the I believe it's the Landfill Authority. I'm not sure I'm using the right term there, but and I'm not so sure about the Recreation Authority how flush it is, but certainly the landfill has been a boon in terms of revenues that it's generated. Why would the commissioners create an authority that they then have no responsibility over the spending of the resources or the proceeds that come about? If I understand correctly, the commissioners have to go begging to the authority to ask for money if they want something funded, and that's left up to an independent board. That, again, the only control the commissioners have over that board is the appointment of members to that board. And I guess I would like each of you to kind of weigh in on what are the advantages of authorities. Do you foresee more authorities being created? Are they good for us? Are they bad for us?
Well, I don't know that I foresee more authorities being created. The advantage to an authority is that you open yourself up to other funding sources. You have another body that can access low interest loans or grants and so on, that doing it directly with the county, you become more limited. But you're right, we give up control doing so. With the city, there's the Water Filtration Authority, and the reason that came into being was because other funding sources were available to them to try to build a filtration plant and so on that they wouldn't have had if they'd done it just directly under the city. The Landfill Authority, obviously, that does well because it's got something that everybody has to have. It's not just that they want, they have to have some place to take their garbage. So it works out well and it brings in money. An authority that it was a good idea that the previous Board of Commissioners had started, and I wish it had a little more authority in its own matters, is the Sewer Authority. Because we all know, again, we all talk about infrastructure here, that the infrastructure is crumbling, and the more we can do to correct that, the better position we are in to attract not only business but residents to live here and have a safe and healthy environment to raise their children. I think if there were more instances where municipalities wanted to cooperate together to unify and work together on their common problems, I think you could see some more authorities that come up like that had to do with that. As far as the Mill Hall Pool, I'm disappointed that didn't work out. The county went the extra mile to try to help that along, and there were differences of opinion at times, but it just didn't work out in the end, and hopefully they'll be able to at least make repairs and keep it up and running.
I assumed authorities were brought about somewhere back in the Stone Ages, and then maybe it was to help county government along with some of their duties, but I think they've outlived themselves, with the exception, of course, of the landfill, making money hand over fist right now simply because of the drilling that's going on, and that's a great thing. But if I had it to do over again, I would do away with the authorities, manage it in-house, and use boards to help out. You always need help. There's no way three people in the county government is going to run everything without help, but it can be done without boards. That way it's a little bit easier to control. You can't control the authority. If you want to dissolve it, you have to vote the people off. And that takes years to complete that. As far as the Mill Hall Pool, if that was part of the question, I have a hard time hearing some of these questions, but I think that somehow that came into the equation here. It's a darn shame that something can't be done there to continue that. It's
Actually, the pool is not part of the question.
Oh, that was a joke?
No, I saw it made reference to it being turned over to an authority, and that prompted me to be curious about authorities, I guess.
Well, anyway, the mill hole pool, something should be done. The county can help, great. If the YMCA can help, great again. But I don't think the ball should be dropped. I think it has been at this point. It doesn't mean it can't be picked up again. Somebody needs to spearhead things in the county. I think we lack a little bit of that. I've spearheaded many things in my life, and that would be one thing that I would push for. I'm sorry that wasn't part of your question, but I started and I will finish it.
When the discussion came up with the mill hall pool, while we're all talking about it, we might as well finish the topic out. The subject did come up that maybe the Clinton County Recreation Authority should take it over. I happen to be the commissioner that represents the county on that board. I don't have a vote. I just sit there and I listen to what they have to say, and I give my input on it. I know from seeing the monthly balance sheet, if you will, that they wouldn't have the capital to take on a project like that. There's a lot of liabilities and a lot of other overhead that go along with owning a public swimming pool, and that's just something that they wouldn't be able to handle under the structure that they're working under. Bell Springs Golf Course within the Recreation Authority has been a great asset to Clinton County. It's a beautiful golf course. It's been ranked in the top 10 public courses in the state of Pennsylvania for a couple of years in a row now. But like most tourism business things, it's starting to slow down because money's getting tighter. Gas is $4 a gallon. So that's the type of discretionary spending that people are going to stop doing for a little while or cut back, so that they can have money to buy groceries or whatever the case may be. With the way the boards are set up, unfortunately, the way the county government is, and this is every county in the state, this just isn't Clinton County or Lycoming County or Center County, we have a book. Joel and I both have a copy of it on our desk. It's about that thick, and it's called the County Code Book. And that pretty much lays out everything that we can and can't do within county government. And there's an entire subsection on authorities and how they have to be created and how they have to be followed. And the fact that once you put somebody on a board, if it's on a 5-year term, they must serve that five-year term unless they die while in office or they decide to leave office voluntarily. We have no power just to go in and take somebody off the board because of the county code. And that's pretty much the Bible that we have to follow day to day in our jobs. With the landfill, just to correct you, we don't have to beg to borrow money from them. There's an agreement already made, a host county agreement fund, that the landfill pays Clinton County around $3 for every ton of garbage that comes in to the landfill. And anything over a certain amount of tonnage per day, we get a little extra on top. For 2010, and this is largely in part because of the gas industry utilizing our landfill, the landfill was able to give Clinton County taxpayers almost $1 million. So there's money that we didn't know we were going to get all of that. We had budgeted around $450,000 to $500,000. But when we were budgeting that was at the end of 2009, so we weren't exactly sure how much money we could expect from the gas industry coming in here. But we got nearly $1 million this year. That's $1 million clear of any taxpayer burden. That goes right into our general fund. We can use that to help fund existing programs. We can help fund new programs that we deem more.
Time. I guess, let me interrupt here. I guess $3 per ton versus the Recreation Authority, where if you need money, you ask for it. You don't get money from.
No, we do get a set amount from the Recreation Authority a year. It's not much, but it's the initial loan that they took from the county to buy that land is what they're paying back.